At 38, with a 20-year IT career, a family, certifications galore, why would I take on an MBA right now? Let me explain. Hi, I'm Terry and welcome to my lab. Usually I focus on building stuff on this channel, whether it's IT solutions, woodworking projects, or other creative ideas I happen to have. But today I want to share with you why I decided to go back to school to go get an MBA, even after a 20-year career in IT. Here's the short version of my career. I've been in the IT industry since 2006. I started as a college dropout from the University of Minnesota. Later on, I went to earn a bachelor's degree from Western Governors University, and in between those two schools, I picked up way too many IT certifications. Now, I'm a husband, father, YouTuber, and senior IT engineer. If any of this sounds familiar, stick around. This story might resonate with you. We're going to go through how I got here, why I'm pursuing an MBA at this point in my life, and the goals I hope to achieve with it. Let's rewind back to 2006 when I first started my career. My first job was for a company called Nortec. This was a summer job after my first year of college. I was primarily building desktop computers for school computer labs. It wasn't a glamorous job, but it got me started in the IT industry. Life decided to throw some curveballs my way, and I had multiple family issues that had to be sorted out. So instead of returning to school in the fall, Nortec became my first job of my career, not my first summer job. Around that time, certifications became my lifeline. Nortec was a Microsoft partner, and they were trying to do the promote from within training method. They were offering bonus for every exam you pass, not certification, exam. And if you know the older Microsoft certifications, there's 3 to 5 exams for every certification. So I cranked through all the certifications like XP, Vista, Server 2003. Not only did this help me financially with rebuilding from those previously mentioned family issues.
Elaine just sold her soul for this 2021 Corolla.
Okay, my Denny Hecker car loan wasn't that bad. Another Minnesota, maybe Western Wisconsin elder reference there. But also this helped my resume stand out because at this point in my life, I had McDonald's, Camp Snoopy, a summer job at Nortec, and that's about it outside of certifications on my resume. This was extremely helpful, especially with the 2008 economic crash right around the corner.
Now it's official, we are in a recession.
No surprise, I was laid off during the 2008 crash, just like a lot of people. That layoff taught me a lot of critical lessons, but most importantly, a well-rounded resume is essential. Certifications are great for validating your skill set, and they will provide opportunities galore. But I learned this the hard way because I had an opportunity to interview with Wells Fargo when I was laid off. But when they found out I didn't have the Comptia A+ certification, the process instantly stopped and I was disqualified. At the time, because I spent every day building computers for computer labs, I viewed the Comptia A+ certification as overrated and overpriced. But there's companies that use the A+ as a standard metric, and they also use it for continuing education. So at that point in my career, I realized that I needed to balance out some of my very focused skills with Microsoft with more foundational skills to pursue new opportunities in the IT industry during a down economy. Now to round out the end of the economic crash, I can't remember at this point if I was laid off for 2 months or 3 months, doesn't really matter. All the companies hit rock bottom, they started rebuilding, Nortec hired me back, and I worked my way up through that company and took it as high as I could. I added more certifications underneath my belt, I expanded my knowledge to include the Network Plus and Cisco CCNP, obviously more Microsoft certifications since they were still paying those bonuses. But at the end of it, I had a steady job, a mortgage on a townhouse, all those family issues I mentioned were resolved, and my girlfriend, now my wife, moved in together at that time. Because of the stability that I had built and wanting to maintain it, that pushed me to re-engage with the college system and pursue that bachelor's degree to safeguard my career. Because when I was laid off, I know for a fact I got auto-rejected for multiple jobs because I didn't have a college degree. And granted, in 2024, 2025, that's less of a requirement than it was back then. But when the economy isn't doing so great, employers can be as picky as they want. So the better you can make yourself look on paper, as long as it's somehow benefits that company, the better chance you have. Like most people at the time that were debating going back to school, a popular route is to do the community college for 2 years, then transfer. At the time, the townhouse that I bought was right near Dakota County Technical College, aka DCTC. When I went to go see their course, they had an IT focused path to do what I was looking for, but the test out fees for the things I had already completed was almost as much as just paying for the class. Plus, they did not accept anything as credit for classes already taken. So, for instance, they had the Cisco CCNA subdivided into 4 semester long classes. A month before I started this initiative is when I earned the Cisco CCNA separately. They would not take that as valid, and their reasoning on why I had to pay 4 test out fees and do 4 tests to prove that I completed the 2 test certification exam, yeah, that was a mouthful, was I, quote unquote, could have cheated.
If that's a joke, I love it. If not, I cannot wait to unpack that with you.
If you've done college exams and if you've done certification exams, you know the testing areas that you're in. There's always somebody watching you. It's monitored computers. And the funnier part of it is I actually took those exams at a DCTC location. So all that to be said is they just wanted more money. That's the end of it. So needless to say, once I found out the bill to test out of what I already knew, I started looking into other options. And that's when a colleague recommended Western Governors University to me, which they are fully accredited, online, and go at your own pace, which was great. They use IT certifications as a part of their degree. So when you get a bachelor's degree, you don't just get a bachelor's degree, you actually get some of those skills validated in certifications. So I transferred in everything I had from the University of Minnesota, which wasn't that directly relatable because I got in on a trombone audition as a music education major. Long story, don't worry about it. Short version, I just wasn't up there long enough to change my major, and I transferred in all of my IT certifications, and that turned a 4-year degree into 2 years of time to round it out. So needless to say, I pursued that option to get that bachelor's degree checkbox on my resume. While working on the college degree, I made a job change as well. Wasn't the smartest idea, but I went from Nortech to a managed services provider named Network Medics. And if you've ever worked in IT, you know working for an MSP can be a trial by fire crash course in everything IT related, from Microsoft to Apple to VMware to WatchGuard, Cisco, Meraki, Veeam. The list goes on and on. At an MSP, you're going to get hit with all of it. I gained so much exposure to different technologies and really developed my solution design skills from an early day at Network Medics. As I grew throughout that company, because I was there for about 7 years as well, I first started thinking about leadership and how technology drives business while I was doing solution design and working with other business owners. From there, I moved on to other senior IT roles, continuing to develop solution design and process design skills, and I've built a career that I'm proud of. But as I've grown, I'm realizing that staying in the technical lane for so long isn't getting me where I want to go next. Now, with nearly 20 years of experience as an IT professional, I've decided it's time to take the next step, pursuing an MBA so I can transition into leadership. Why now? Well, for me, it comes down to 3 main reasons. First and foremost, work-life balance. Late night projects and after hours works have been a part of my career for a long time at this point. And as I get older, I want to focus more on my family. And I realize to be able to do that, I need to step away from frontline IT projects. I know I can't remove all after hours work that from as long as I stay in IT, but I can definitely shrink it down a lot. Reason number 2, I want to make a bigger impact. So I've spent years fixing bad policies and cleaning up poorly executed IT projects and decisions. I want to now move into the role where I can drive strategy and set policies to guide organizations towards smarter technology solutions, and then skip the need to clean up anything, or at least anything serious. Last, and definitely the most important one, family goals. My wife and I, we want to keep growing our family. And when we had our first kid, the idea of my wife being a stay-at-home mom came up, but we were trapped in a two-income trap. And we want to break out of it. And right now I feel that me pursuing an MBA is the quickest way to raise my income to a level where I could give my wife the option to be a stay-at-home mom if we are lucky enough to have additional kids. And to save the comment section, what about YouTube money? Yes, this channel is monetized, but it is more important to me to have this be a hobby and a creative outlet and let it organically grow instead of trying to add the pressure to grow this to cover 2 9-to-5 jobs in a 1 year or 2 year time frame. If it happens, great. I would love to have that conversation with my wife. Am I going to force it or try to force it? No, there's not enough time in the day. It is much more efficient for me to do a 1 year or 2 year MBA program and pursue the family goals through that professional route at this time. But since we're talking about this channel, selfless plug time. If you like this video so far, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing so you get notified when I release more videos. And leave a comment down below if you've debated on going back to school or not with all the economic stuff going on right now. After reflecting on my career goals and family priorities, I started researching MBA programs. I knew it needed to be affordable, flexible, and online to fit in with my busy lifestyle. Shocker, as I kind of led to earlier, Western Governors checked all those boxes. Why WGU? Well, first and foremost, I had a great time the first time. So it was logical just to, start again where I left off. Secondly, it is competency-based. So I can move at my own pace and knock out as much as I want, as quick as I want. For the third point, the price is unbeatable. You pay for time rather than per class tuition. So in their case, it is about $5,000 for every 6 months of time. So a 2 year degree would cost up to $20,000. So with that, let's talk about the value piece of it. My logical starting point on this was originally, what does $100,000 for a MBA actually get you these days? And if you're already established in your career, the answer is not much. After reviewing college counselors and educational counselors, career, just all the sources about MBA programs, all that stuff, to summarize it all, it pretty much kind of got summarized as, if you're already established in your career, you already have 10 plus years of experience, you have a network, and you're just looking to round out educational pieces, it's not really worth spending more than $40,000 on an MBA. I'll put a little asterisk here and say if your job is paying for it, then who cares how much it costs? But that's where it came down to where the 100K plus programs at like the Ivy League schools and other business schools come in to play really is when you're a bachelor's graduate, you might have a year or two of real world work experience on your belt, but nothing's really established yet. You don't really have a network yet. You're just getting experience for the first time. The $100,000 MBAs provide the education to make up for experience and in a pipeline into the Fortune 500 companies or the consulting companies to get you to that 6-figure job. But again, if you're already established, then spending $100,000 on an MBA is way too much money to spend to fix your bad PowerPoints. For me, going back to Western Governors to get the MBA was a no-brainer. It fits my stage in my career. It has the potential to deliver a very high return on investment. The MBA in Information Technology Management, which is the one that I chose, consists of 10 courses plus a capstone project. While students are required to complete at least 3 courses every 6 months, many students, according to WGU, and I will be testing this theory, as long as you can maintain at least 1 course a month, then you can finish your MBA in 1 year instead of 2 years. And news for everyone who's watching, I'm going to be documenting that process. This video here is the beginning of my MBA journey where I will be vlogging, or whatever term you want to use, my course down a MBA process. I'm filming this video in between Christmas and New Year's, and my start date is New Year's Day. So I don't know what type of updates I'll be doing, if it makes more sense to do time-based updates or like course-based updates. But on the first, I'm going to dive into it. I'm going to figure it out. And then once it's figured out, there will be regular updates until I graduate with an MBA. If you're debating about taking on an MBA and if it's worth it, I hope this series helps you decide. I'll share what I learned, my personal challenges with it, how I'm balancing work and my family. So you should like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you're notified when the next video in this series is released. Also, if you've already completed an MBA, let me know what advice you have for me as someone who's just starting one and hasn't been to school in a decade. Please leave that down below in the comments section. And to make this more fun, let's place some guesses on how long this MBA is going to take me. Is it 12 months, 18 months, 6 months, 24? Let me know what you think down below in the comment section, especially if you've already completed the WGU MBA in Information Technology Management. Ultimately, this isn't just about advancing my career, it's about building a better future for my family and empowering myself to take on new challenges. I'm excited to bring you guys along for the journey, and I hope that this video series inspires you in the next step in your journey as well. Until next time, bye now.